topic of today's webinar is hasty experiments for the detection of food fraud and adulteration. This is an interesting and needy topic of this era because we all know that food is the most important part of our life and life does not exist without food. Pure, fresh and nutritious food is essential for healthy lifestyle. But nowadays, in every food items there is adulteration. Starting from our morning bed coffee to our nighttime banana, most of the food items are adulterated. So, in this workshop, I am going to show you how to perform simple and hasty experiments for easily detecting the food adulteration. And the major outcome of this workshop is we can detect the quality of the food items that we use in our day-to-day life. The overview of this webinar is, first we are going to see an introduction to food adulteration. After that, we are going to see how to perform hasty experiments for detecting the food fraud and adulteration using the household ingredients. Introduction. The food adulteration. Food adulteration means adding something to the food or removing any vital substance from the food that affects the quality or nature of the food is called as food adulteration. Adulteration is very hazardous because most of the adulterants are toxic and it may cause cancer, the most life-threatening disease. And in extreme cases, it may even cause death. So, adulteration in food is also called as poison in food, or it is also called as slow killers or slow poisoners. There are two types of adulteration: intentional adulteration and unintentional adulteration. As the name says, intentional adulteration is done intentionally by some unscrupulous food business operators for the sake of profit. And unintentional adulteration is also called as accidental adulteration, which is caused due to negligence or lack of personal hygiene, etc. These are the few recent reports about food adulteration which I have collected from the newspapers. So in this, FSSAI report says that food in Tamil Nadu is the most unsafe in the country, and about 1/3 of the food samples are adulterated. That is 40% of the food samples are adulterated. And about milk adulteration, tea adulteration, like this we come across more reports in the news and newspapers about food adulteration. Now let us see few examples for common adulterants that is used in food. First, let us start with milk. Milk is a nutritious beverage, but milk is found to be the most adulterated food item. Milk is usually adulterated with water. When water is added to the milk will become diluted. So, in order to increase the thickness in the milk, other harmful adulterants like chalk powder, starch, detergents are added. And to store the milk for a long period of time, harmful chemicals like urea, which is a pesticide, then caustic soda, formalin, and even hydrogen peroxide is added. Sometimes white paint is also added to the milk to give white color to the milk. Next, ghee, butter or edible oils is usually adulterated with vanaspati, starch, animal fats like pig fat, beef fat, etc. Then TCP, that is triglyceride phosphate, then harmful oil like rancid oil, argan oil, mineral oil, etc. Tea or coffee is the most used beverages in India, but it is also found to be highly adulterated. Tea leaves are adulterated with used tea leaves. That is, already used tea leaves are purchased from the tea shop. They are then processed and it is colored with harmful dyes like coal tar dyes. So this coal tar dye is a dye which is used to tar the road. Then fabric dyes, a dye which is used to color the fabrics. So by using such harmful dyes, the tea leaves are colored. And sometimes the tea leaves are found to be adulterated with same color leaves, and sometimes even iron flakes are used to increase the weight of the tea leaves. And coffee seeds are found to be adulterated with tamarind seeds, mustard seeds, date seeds, chicory powder, clay, etc. Honey. Honey is the most nutritious food, but it is found to be adulterated with sugar syrup, fructose corn syrup, etc. Pulses, which are rich in proteins, but it is also found to be adulterated with harmful kesari dal, carcinogenic metanyl yellow, coal tar dyes, etc. Cereals, which are rich in carbohydrates and proteins, are found to be adulterated with stones, sand, marble chips, soapstone, ergot, which is a fungi. Ergot means it is a fungi. Then hair, rodents, excreta, etc. Spices. Indian food is incomplete without spices, but the spices are also found to be adulterated, especially the powdered spices. For example, turmeric powder is found to be adulterated with yellow color aniline dyes, metanyl yellow, lead chromate, etc. So these are all harmful carcinogens. Then chili powder is found to be adulterated with brick dust, salt, talcum powder, artificial colors, etc. Coriander powder is found to be adulterated with colored sawdust, cow dung, horse dung, etc. Pepper is usually adulterated with papaya seeds because pepper resembles the papaya seeds. So it is adulterated with papaya seeds, blackberries. Then to increase the shining appearance of pepper, even it is coated with mineral oil. Then cloves are adulterated with exhausted cloves. Exhausted cloves means the already used cloves are the cloves in which the volatile oil has been removed. And fruits and vegetables are rich in nutrients like vitamins, minerals, but they are also found to be highly adulterated. Oxytocin is a steroid hormone which is used in the fruits, and this oxytocin is mainly used to increase the yield of the fruits and vegetables, as well as it is used to increase the size of the fruits and vegetables. And saccharin is used to increase the sweetness in the fruits. And wax. So some of the fruits and vegetables are coated with wax for giving a shiny appearance. For example, apple. Then calcium carbide. Calcium carbide is the artificial ripener. So it is used for early ripening of fruits and vegetables. Then copper sulfate, malachite green are the harmful dyes which is coated on some fruits and vegetables. For example, green peas. So sometimes in the market we can see very attractive, colorful parrot green peas which looks very bright and attractive, but that is not original. It is usually coated with malachite green, which is a harmful dye. It is a dye, or it is a stain which is used to stain the bacteria. That is, in endospore staining, usually we use this malachite green to stain the bacteria. So such harmful carcinogenic dye is used in the fruits and vegetables. Next is the ice cream. So we all love ice cream, especially the children's favorite food is ice cream. The sinners who are indulged in food adulteration do not leave even the children's food product. Even the children's food product like ice cream is adulterated with adulterants like cellulose, starch, pepper oil, ethyl acetate, butyraldehyde, nitrate, washing powder, non-permitted colors, etc. Fake foods. Fake foods are also called as synthetic foods. Fake foods are fake. They are not original food, but it imitate the original food. It look exactly like original food. For example, in this picture you can see China plastic egg. So this is not the egg of a hen or egg of a duck. It is the egg completely made up of plastics and by using other harmful chemicals. So same like this, other fake food examples are milk, synthetic honey, synthetic rice, synthetic fruits, vegetables, etc. Now let us see a small video about a few examples for food adulteration. The harmful effects of food adulteration are poor immune system. It will damage or it will deteriorate the immune system so that there is possibility for getting various microbial infections including the current COVID-19. And other harmful effects are stomach disorders like food poisoning, diarrhea, vomiting, liver disorders, anemia, that is reduction of RBC, epidemic dropsy, that is swelling in the legs, glaucoma, eye disorder or permanent blindness, neurological problems like brain damage, abortion in pregnant ladies, kidney damage, cardiac arrest or heart failure, cancer, the most life-threatening disease, and in extreme cases it may even lead to death of the person. So next we are going to see about the criteria for selecting the food items. So while buying the food items, we have to properly select and buy the food items. Visual examination of the food is very important. That is looking for its appearance like color, texture, smell, etc. Then do not buy the food items that is very colorful or attractive because there is possibilities for adulteration. Then always buy the food items rather than, that is packed food items rather than the loosely sold food items, because in the loosely sold food items there is more possibilities for adulteration. In the packed food items, we have to see the label declaration. That is very important. That is the date of manufacturing, date of expiry, and check whether the food product is a FSSAI certified food product. And the FSSAI license is also very important. Next is the food safety laws in India. In order to prevent the food adulteration, the Indian Parliament has passed Food Safety and Standard Act 2006. Under this, the most important act is Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. Doing food adulteration is a social crime. If the food product is found unsafe, then the food business operator have to pay penalty of minimum rupees 10 lakhs along with imprisonment, which may be extended up to lifetime. Next is how to file a consumer complaint. If the food is found unsafe or adulterated, the consumer can file the complaint directly to FSSAI. Food Safety Connect, it is a mobile app. Using the mobile app, we can file complaints to the FSSAI. And this FSSAI Food Safety Voice, this is also an online platform for filing the complaints to FSSAI. And the WhatsApp number of Food Safety Department of Tamil Nadu is 9440423222. I repeat, 9440423222. So this is the WhatsApp number of Food Safety Department of Tamil Nadu. So to this WhatsApp number also we can file the complaint directly to the Food Safety Department of Tamil Nadu. Next in this webinar, we are going to see how to perform simple and hasty experiments for detecting the food adulteration. So today we are going to see how to perform adulteration tests for milk, milk products, tea or coffee, sugar and confectionaries, and finally spices. So the first test we are going to see is adulteration test for milk. So now I am going to show you the pre-recorded video of the test. So these tests I have done previously, and this is the pre-recorded video. And for this detection of water in milk, the material required is a polished slanting surface. For that we can take a tray or we can take a plate. And the procedure is very simple. Put a drop of milk on a polished slanting surface and observe the flow of milk. So here I have taken two milk samples to show you the difference between pure milk and adulterated milk. So here you can see the pure milk flow slowly leaving a white mark behind, whereas the adulterated milk flow quickly without leaving any white mark behind. So based on this we can identify whether the milk is pure milk or it is adulterated with water. So usually in the industries and all, the milk adulteration test, that is the presence of water in milk, is tested by using lactometer. So but in the home lactometer is not available, no. So by doing this simple test, easily we can identify whether the milk is pure milk or it is adulterated with water. The next test we are going to see in milk adulteration test is detection of urea in milk. And the materials required for this is soya bean powder and litmus paper. And I have used home based or home prepared litmus paper. That is, the preparation of litmus paper is very simple. That just take a strip of paper and dip the strip of paper into the turmeric powder. Or we can also use red color cabbage, the sap of red color cabbage. If red color cabbage is not there, we can also use the turmeric powder. Just dip the strip of paper into a turmeric powder solution and leave it for 15 to 20 minutes till it gets dry. And after that, that strip of paper can be used as a litmus paper. So the material required for this test is soya bean powder and litmus paper. Procedure is very simple. Just add a teaspoon of soya bean powder into the milk sample. Here also I have taken 2 milk sample to show the difference between pure milk and adulterated milk. After adding the soya bean powder, mix well. And dip the litmus paper into the milk sample. So if the color of the litmus paper changes from yellow color to red color, it means that the milk is adulterated. In the first sample of milk, you can see that the color is not converted to red color. In the second strip, you can see that the yellow litmus paper has changed to red color, which means that it is the adulterated milk. So why there is a difference in this means, if the milk is adulterated with urea, the pH of the milk will change to alkaline pH. So if the milk is alkaline in pH, it can be easily detected by using the litmus paper strip, which is also a pH indicator. So by doing this test, we can easily find out whether the milk is pure milk or it is adulterated with urea. So first milk is a pure milk and the second one is the adulterated milk with urea. And the next test in the adulteration of milk is detection of starch in milk. So for this, take the milk sample, and to the milk sample we have to add the iodine solution. So if there is no iodine, we can use the tincture of iodine that is available in the home. If there is no tincture of iodine also, we can use the iodized salt. So when we add the tincture of iodine into the milk sample, if the color of the milk changes to blue color or purple violet in color, it means that the milk is adulterated with starch. So why there is a formation of blue color means, we all know that we might have studied in our school that when starch reacts with iodine, it produces blue color. So here also the same principle. So when we are adding the iodine to the milk that is adulterated with starch, the starch will react with the iodine and it forms a blue color. So based on this test, we can identify whether the milk sample is pure or it is adulterated with starch. So here you can see that first sample of milk is a pure and the second sample is the adulterated one. It is adulterated with starch. So this can be identified by the formation of blue color. So formation of blue color indicates that it is adulterated with starch. And the next test in the adulteration test for milk is detection of detergents in milk. So the presence of detergent in milk can be easily identified, and the procedure is very simple. Take equal quantity of water and milk in a glass container or any transparent container. Just take equal quantity of water and milk in a transparent container and shake well. And after shaking, detergent is identified by the formation of bubbles in the milk. If there is milk adulterated with detergent, there is vigorous bubble formation in the milk, which indicates that the milk is adulterated with detergent. So here you can see that first sample of milk, there is no formation of foam or bubbles, which means that it is a pure milk. The second sample of milk, we can see the formation of foam or bubbles, which indicates that the milk is adulterated with detergent. So this is about the milk adulteration test. The next test is adulteration test for milk products. The first test is detection of adulterants in ghee. In ghee, the adulterants can be found out by using a test called iodine test. So the procedure is very simple. To the ghee sample, add few drops of iodine solution or tincture of iodine and mix well. If there is formation of blue color, ghee is adulterated with starch. If there is no formation of blue color, it means that the ghee is pure. So here you can see that the first sample of ghee is pure, whereas the second sample of ghee has changed to blue color, which means that it is the adulterated ghee. Next test is detection of adulterants in ice cream. Ice creams are usually adulterated with detergents, and this can be easily found out, and the procedure is just take a scoop of ice cream into a bowl, and to this add 1 or 2 drops or 1 or 2 teaspoons of lemon juice and mix well and observe for the formation of bubbles. Vigorous bubble formation indicates that adulterated with detergent. Here also the first sample is pure ice cream and the second sample is adulterated with detergent, which we can found out by the formation of gas bubbles in the ice cream. Next test is the adulteration test for sugar and confectionery. First is detection of adulterants in sugar. Just add a teaspoon of sugar to a glass of transparent water. If the sugar is pure sugar, the sugar will settle at the bottom, leaving the solution clear. And if it is adulterated with chalk powder or any other adulterants, then the adulterants will float in the water and the solution will be turbid. So based on this, we can identify whether the sugar is pure sugar or it is adulterated with adulterants like chalk powder. Next test is detection of adulterants in honey. This can be done by 2 tests, water test and flame test. So first is water test. Procedure is very simple. Add a teaspoon of honey to a transparent glass of water. If the honey dissolves at the bottom, leaving the solution clear, it is a pure honey. Whereas if the honey mixes with water and if the solution is turbid, it means that it is the adulterated honey. So here you can see the difference between the pure honey and the adulterated honey. So golden yellow color solution will be formed in the adulterated honey. Next is the detection of adulterants in honey by using flame test. For this, dip the cotton into the honey and show it in flame. If the cotton burns, it means that it is the pure honey. Suppose if the cotton dipped in honey does not burn, it means that the honey is adulterated with sugar syrup. So here you can see that this is the adulterated honey, so that is why it is not burning in the flame. So this is the adulterated honey. The first one is the pure honey and the second sample is the adulterated honey. So the next test is tea adulteration test. So in the tea adulteration test, first we are going to find out detection of exhausted tea leaves. The procedure of this test is very simple. Take a moistened tissue paper or filter paper. To this add 1 teaspoon of tea leaves and sprinkle some water and keep for 1 or 2 minutes. After 1 or 2 minutes, observe the result. If the color of the tea leaves has been absorbed on the paper, it means that it is the adulterated tea leaves. So let us see how to perform. The first sample of tea leaves is a pure tea leaf, whereas in the second sample we can see that the color of the tea leaves has been absorbed on the paper, which means that it is the adulterated tea leaves with exhausted tea leaves or the already used tea leaves which has been colored with artificial dyes. And the second test is detection of iron fillings in the tea leaves. And the iron fillings in the tea leaves can be detected by using magnet, and this test is called as magnet test. Just take a magnet and dip the magnet over the surface of the tea leaves. And if iron fillings are present in the tea leaves, the iron fillings will stick on to the magnet. Based on that, we can identify whether the tea leaf is pure or it is adulterated with iron fillings. See, we can easily separate the iron fillings from the magnet. So this is a very simple test by using a magnet with which we can easily find out whether the tea leaf is pure or it is adulterated with iron fillings. So first sample is the pure tea and second sample is adulterated with iron fillings. The next is spices adulteration test. So first we are going to find out the chili powder test, that is detection of artificial colors and brick powder in chili powder. So this can be done by a simple test called water test. Just add a teaspoon of red chili powder into the transparent glass of water. If there is no migration of color, it means that the chili powder is pure. If there is migration of color and if the red color is coming out and if the red color mixed with water after 1 minute, it means that the chili powder is impure or it is adulterated with artificial colors of brick powder. So here you can see that the first sample is pure powder and the second sample is adulterated one and by seeing the color difference we can easily identify whether it is pure or adulterated. Pure one will be forming a transparent clear solution of water, whereas the adulterated chili powder will form a red color over the entire solution. Second test is the detection of rhodamine B in chili powder. This rhodamine B is a carcinogen and this can be easily detected by performing a simple test, that is take few ml of acetone. So this acetone is nothing but a nail polish remover that is available in our home. So to this acetone we have to add a teaspoon of chili powder and observe for color change. If the color is cherry red color formation, it means that the chili powder is adulterated with rhodamine B. So here you can see the first sample is the pure one and the second sample is adulterated with rhodamine B, which can be identified by the formation of cherry red color when the chili powder is mixed with acetone. And the next test is detection of adulterants in turmeric powder. And if turmeric powder is adulterated with lead chromate, this can be easily identified by adding few drops of HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. So when hydrochloric acid is added to the turmeric powder, if the color changes to purple color or purple black in color, it means that it is adulterated with lead chromate. Next is the detection of adulterants in coriander powder. Just add 1 teaspoon of coriander powder to a transparent glass of water and observe the result after 1 minute. If the coriander powder is pure, it will form a clear solution. Whereas if it is adulterated with adulterants like sawdust, cow dung or horse dung, then the adulterated coriander powder will form a turbid solution and the adulterants will float in the water. So based on that we can identify the difference between pure coriander powder and the adulterated coriander powder. Next test is the detection of adulterants in cloves. So to this add 1 teaspoon of cloves to a transparent glass of water. If the cloves settle at the bottom, it means that it is the pure cloves. If the cloves float in the water, it means that it is adulterated, that is exhausted cloves have been used. So what is the reason behind this means, if the cloves is the pure cloves, it will have more density so that it will deposit or settle at the bottom of the glass. So whether if it is adulterated one, it will float at the top because of the lesser density. And the last test is detection of adulterants in pepper. In pepper, the most common adulterant used is papaya seeds, and this can be found out by doing a simple test called alcohol test. For this, take a glass, in that take alcohol. For alcohol, you can use hand sanitizer or shaving lotion which contains alcohol. Then to this add 1 teaspoon of pepper. If the pepper is pure, it will settle at the bottom. If the pepper is adulterated with papaya seeds or any other adulterants, then it will float in the alcohol. And the difference is, this is due to difference in density. Pure pepper will have higher denser so that it will deposit at the bottom. Whereas if the pepper is adulterated, it will float in the alcohol. So based on that, we can find out whether the pepper is adulterated or it is the pure pepper. Thank you everybody. I hope this webinar would be useful for everyone. I would also like to thank the organizing committee members of Veridian Micro Lab for this opportunity. Thank you all.